are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, where do I fucking start? I guess at the start. So, last night was my first ayahuasca ceremony. 7 p.m., we took the ayahuasca, we did some prayers, and then we waited. So, what you need to do is you need to hold it down for at least like 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to let the ayahuasca soak in before you start purging. And then after an hour, you can start drinking water to help the purge. And the doctor and the psychologist said after an hour, they're going to come around to us and check in on us. So that first hour, I got absolutely nothing. When I first took it, in the first 10 minutes, I felt nauseous in my stomach. I was like, oof, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hold this down for 15 minutes. Because it also tastes like shit as well. It tastes like slimy Vegemite or something. Other people said molasses, but I don't know what the fuck molasses tastes like. So I got through that part. I held it down and then nothing. Absolutely nothing for the first hour. The doctor came around and was like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm not feeling anything. She's like, do you want more? I'm like, yes, I would like a little bit more, thanks. So she came back and gave me another half glass. And I took that and I was like, I still think that's a little bit under. I don't think that's going to fucking do it for me. Actually, before I took that half glass, what happened was the shamans started doing these prayers and chants, like the most magical singing you've ever heard in your entire life. It was amazing. Just the fucking melody and the lyricism and the way she sung it was just like mind blowing. And nothing was even fucking happening to me. I was just listening to it, just fucking dumbfounded. And she came around to each person and did the song and prayer thing in front of you. So she got to me, and I have to admit, my mind was all over the place. I wasn't really concentrating. I was more thinking like, I need more. This isn't going to be enough. But when she came around and started doing the singing and the prayers, I was like, I'm really going to fucking try here. I'm going to concentrate on every single syllable she says. So I really concentrated and it started working and she was getting me off the ground. But then as soon as she left, I just went straight back to nothing. And because I've done DMT so many fucking times, I could tell where I was in the trip. And I wasn't very fucking far in. It was virtually nothing. So anyway, I took that second half glass and I waited. I waited 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and a little bit was happening, but pretty much nothing. I could tell where I was in the trip because I've done DMT so many fucking times. And I knew I wasn't going to fucking take off. I needed more. So when the doctor came back around to ask me how I was doing, if I'm feeling anything, I was like, I'm not feeling anything. I'm like, I think I need more. And she's like, you really need to start concentrating and being a little bit more patient. I'm like, I'm trying, but I still think I need more. She's like, all right, I'll get you a little bit more. So she comes back with another half glass. This is like 2 hours in now. And I do that half glass and I wait another 30, 40 minutes and nothing, absolutely fucking nothing. I was like, I could get up, walk, go to bed, read a book right now. Then the doctor came back around and was like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I still feel nothing. And she's like, do you want a cigarette? And I'm like, yeah, get me a cigarette. So she comes back with a lit cigarette and I start smoking this dart. And it's the most fucking beautiful dart I've ever smoked. It's just natural tobacco, no chemicals. It was just fucking delicious. And I thought to myself, I'm going to smoke this real fucking hard to induce some vomiting, some purging, and maybe that will do it. And I slammed this dart. Like if I smoked a normal dart like this, I would have fucking vomited. But I slammed this dart and nothing happened. I was just enjoying it. That's it. And then after the dart, I just fucking sat there for another 20 minutes and literally nothing was going on. And then I was like, I need to do something about this. I can't fucking just sit here and have that ayahuasca just sitting in my stomach. I need to purge the ayahuasca. I don't want it just in there. So I was like, they did talk about drinking water helps you purge. So I was like, all right, I'm not feeling any of the effects. I'm not feeling nauseous even in the slightest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fucking drink as much fucking water as I possibly can. And I'm going to feel nauseous just from drinking too much water. I'm going to vomit from drinking too much water. We're just going the sledgehammer fucking approach here. We're going brute fucking force. So I pick up my water bottle. I've got a 2.5 liter water bottle and I just start sculling it, just start necking it. And I just keep on going. I smashed like 1.5 liters first go. And then I just waited for like 10 minutes and I started feeling like grumbling in my stomach. And I'm like, all right, it might be working. And then I go back to the water. I'm like, fucking let's bring it on. So I scull some more and I just keep pounding the water and I'm starting to feel nauseous now. So I pound a little bit more and then I do a little fucking spew. And I'm like, all right, at least I'm purging. Even if I don't get any effects, I'm getting this shit out of my stomach. And so I fucking force down some more water and I purge a little bit more. Force down a little bit more, purge a little bit more. And then the real purge starts. And it just comes and I'm just fucking throwing up. And then I don't need any more water. I'm just fucking purging and purging and purging. I've fucking filled up like 1/2 bucket of vomit and bile and shit. And I'm starting to feel some tingles. I'm like, all right, things are starting to work here. I'm starting to feel a little bit of like colors and shapes forming. So I'm like, fuck it, just drink more water. So I slammed some more water and then violently purged that out and then kept on purging. And I think the purge may have lasted for about an hour, but at the end of the purge, I was completely fucking cooked. And then I just got fucking launched. It was almost exactly like doing DMT, like smoking it. It was just a fucking woof, a takeoff. And I met the aliens. Like you see them in DMT sometimes if you go far enough, but DMT doesn't last very long, so you don't get to hang out with them. I got to hang out with the fucking aliens and speak to them and shit. They revealed themselves to me and they were so extraordinary that just this wave of love just like washed over me. And I was like, thank you for showing yourself to me. I don't know what you are, but I love you. Thanks for coming. And when you think about aliens, you're thinking about something in like a human form or like something resembling human. I'm sorry, that's not what the aliens are. They are so far beyond the realm of like human, even imagination, that it's impossible to fucking describe. They're like, I don't know. They're like some sort of shape shifting machine consciousness. I don't know, infinite. I don't know what the fuck they are. But I got to hang out with them for like half an hour, just fully in the alien world with the aliens. I was still like my dumb self. It's probably better if someone like Elon Musk or Donald Hoffman or something like that spoke to the aliens. I don't think I'm a good avatar to be speaking through. So I was like, so you guys are aliens, yeah? And they're like, well, we don't really call ourselves aliens, but yeah, we're the aliens. And none of this was done verbally. This was all done through, I don't know, changes in shape and form and sort of like atmospheric changes. I don't know how it was communicated, but I fully understood. And they fully understood me. And I'm like, so you're real? And they're like, yeah, we're real. We've always been here. It's just that we can't exactly reveal ourselves to humans. And I'm like, oh, because you're so complex. They're like, yeah. And they didn't seem to give a fuck that I was going to tell everyone on the podcast as well, because I was really trying to get it right. I was like, so the only reason you don't come is because of your complexity. They're like, yes, that's right. Look at us. How are we meant to show ourselves to you guys? I'm like, that's true. I'm like, do you like us? They're like, of course. They're friendly, these aliens that I think control the whole experiment. I don't even know. And they seem to enjoy hanging out with humans too. It was very fucking cool. So that was most of the communication. That's most of the communication I can remember. That was the exact communication that I was going through because I was doing the podcast in the fucking trip. That's why I was trying to get it right with the aliens. I'm like, so you aren't revealing yourself because of your infinite complexity. That's right, is it? I'm like, the cunts are going to love this. And they knew I was going to come back and tell everyone about it as well, and they didn't care. But most of the time, they were just showing me shit like mind-blowing, just complexity, just forms and shapes and, I don't know, like emotions that you can't even fathom. They were like separate individuals as well, but they were like one as well. I don't know. I mean, fucking, I failed year 8 math. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there. And so after about half an hour, it did the DMT thing. It sort of just all started to dissolve, and then you come more back into reality. And I was just like, fucking, I was just overwhelmed with like love and joy and happiness. I was so excited. I was like laughing. I'm like, I can't believe I just got to hang out with aliens for that long. And then in the middle of like that happiness came the thunder and crash of the personal shit. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. The thundering weight of the compounded guilt of every bad thing that you've ever done in your entire life just crushing you. It was truly unpleasant. And I was like, oh, I'll go into the ayahuasca and I'll realize that I'm fucked up because of shit that happened to me, and pretty much I'm broken and all the things that I've done are because I'm broken. Well, that's not exactly the message that I was getting. The message I was getting was every decision you make is essentially your responsibility. If you've done bad shit, that's on you. How are you going to redeem yourself? That was the question that stuck with me. How are you going to redeem yourself? Are you redeemable? And I guess we'll find out tonight. I guess that's the question for tonight's session. So that trip and then the crushing guilt, that probably only lasted about an hour. Most of the time, nothing happened. Not until I took it into my own fucking hands and just brute forced some action. I think the aliens respected what I was doing. Honestly, in it, I was like, I hope they fucking appreciate what I'm doing here. And then the aliens came and I was like, thank fuck I did that. That's what you get. You get reward for hard work. So fucking, I'm about to do a psychological analysis and like an interview with the shamans, and they're going to tell me what the fuck they think about me. And apparently, like, they're super accurate. Apparently, one of the guys who's done like 5 sessions here, apparently the shamans can see what's going on in your trip the whole time. He had an interview with a shaman a couple of days ago, and she was like, you spent a lot of time talking to your grandpa and thinking about work. He's like, what? How did you know? She's like, don't worry, I know. I'm the shaman. So it will be very interesting to pick their brain and see what's going on. Anyway, it's all fucking on again tonight. I'm going to have 2 straight up tonight. I'm not messing around with 1, then half. Just give me 2. let me purge again, and let's fucking go see the aliens again. I'm not expecting aliens, but like, let's see some shit again. Anyway, I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. That'll do for today, and I'll see you the fuck later.